The world's sex toy industry is valued at more than 34 billion USD in 2021. It is projected to surpass 75 plus billion USD in 2030. Currently, 70% of world sex toys are made in China. At the same time, China's domestic consumption of sex toys, silicone sex dolls in particular, is the fastest growing market in the world. China did not have any sex toy production in the 1980s, and its silicone live-size sex doll production has only started a decade ago. However, in 2018, the first sex doll brothel emerged in Shenzhen, the manufacture center next to Hong Kong, and about 1,000 similar sex doll experience shops, as they were called in China, mushroomed in major cities all over the country. What happened to China's sex toy industry and sex doll brothel may reveal some deep-seated socio-economic problems that would get worse over time. According to recent statistics, worldwide sex toy sales had a gender shift. Female-oriented items sales revenue surpassed 50% of the total revenue, and single most sold item is vibrators, which counts 60% of total revenue. However, the situation in China is the opposite. More than 90% items sold are male-oriented. Just look at the exhibitions here in the expo. There is only one male doll here, and it has not attracted any attention at all. This phenomenon is not surprising, given China's severe gender imbalance. Due to the enforcement of one-child policy for 35 years, baby girls were aborted or abandoned, leaving the quota for a male infant. Thus, in 2021, every 100 women of marriage age have 112 men, so China had 35 million wifeless men in that year. Plus rising divorce rate and decline marriage rate, China's single man population reached 40 million, and it continued to grow every year. China's sex ratio is the most skewed of any country in the world. Therefore, it is no surprise to read headline like this, aiming at 37 million single men. This sex toy factory is now listed in stock market. Foreign Affair magazine published an article, Are Sex Dolls to Replace China's Missing Women? Sex doll production and sales have become a big business in China. There are hundreds of pages on China's online sales platforms. One of them reported that it sells about 1,500 sex dolls every day. 50-some years old Mr. Yu is one of such sex doll enthusiasts, according to Quartz. He is divorced and lives with his son of 20 years old. He owns 11 dolls, and bought one for his son as well. He did not want to get married ever again, because he dislikes dating real women. You have to baby them every day, and if they feel you didn't baby them enough, they would leave you for someone else, he said. He prefers dolls instead. They are more companions than sex toys to him. He took a doll with him wherever he goes, and tuck them in before going to bed. His son is also quite attached to his doll emotionally as well. Mr. Yu has a popular website to share his life with his dolls online, posting pictures of his dolls, and how they celebrate each doll's birthday. And he counts the doll's arrival at home was day 1. Chinese dolls usually last 5 to 6 years before they need to be replaced. The death of a doll would make the son depressed, he said. If sex dolls are so popular in Mr. Yu's rural village, one could imagine how popular they would be in China's urban centers, where bachelors concentrated. Dongguan is where iPhones are assembled. There are estimated 120,000 single males working there, plus other neighboring factories. In one assembly line, there are 300 workers, only 30 of them are female. These 20-some young men become desperate. One dormitory room 6 bachelors, pool together enough money to buy a sex doll to share among themselves. That made Mr. Lee thinking about opening a sex doll brothel nearby Foxconn iPhone factory. He rent a 2-story space, with 6 rooms upstairs. And he bought a dozen of sex dolls to start a new business adventure in 2018. The first Chinese sex doll brothel emerged. This named Happy Love Shop is known euphemistically as Adult Doll Experience Shop. The business was good before the pandemic hit. There were about 70 customers a week, many were repeaters. One customer praised Mr. Lee as the savior of our bachelors. This was quoted in a report by an official media outlet, which triggered an explosion of the same business across China. An estimated 1,000 such adult doll experience shops mushroomed. However, in March 2021, without any explanation, the government decided to shut down this Happy Love adult doll experience shop, and rest of such shops disappeared soon after. In China, sex is something one can do, but one can never talk about. The existence of such sex doll establishments certainly made lots of people talking about sex. Besides, Chinese decisions are always made by a few 70 and 80 years old men. Do they understand or care about the real life and needs of those 40 million bachelors? On the other hand, the changing economy and decreasing prostitution market value would also put sex doll brothel out of business. With China's growth really slowed down, housing market crashing, and unemployment rate soaring, too many street walkers gathered in cities' slum area, causing sex service price going down, as low as 80 Chinese yuan. The sex doll brothel charged 188 Chinese yuan per hour. How could it survive the competition? If China's economy continued to go down, how 40 million bachelors' life would look like? What about the life of 20 million sex workers? Could they survive the increased hardship? Only time could tell. Thanks for watching. Please leave your thoughts and comments.